All right. Good morning, people from the Philippines. What they call this, happy weekend to everybody. I hope you're having a lovely time there. Today's gonna be another awesome session, and we have amazing people on the show. And it was kind of hard to find them actually because they're like, the good stuff. Yeah. And yes, we're gonna be hearing great insights from them later, and here say the down low. When it comes to their expertise, their experience, and things, that they have got to do when it comes to say catering to their clients' needs, especially when it comes to say being an EA, right? And maybe some of you guys are wondering like, what is an EA? Is that EA Sports, to the game? So it's kind of different, guys. It's part of the virtual world, and it's about being an executive assistant. And when you actually hear the word executive assistant, you might think like, is this like somebody like carrying the bags around, or maybe like doing some people stuff on the side? It's kind of different, guys, because it's in the virtual world. But nevertheless, happy weekend, everybody, and good morning to all of you. And welcome back, Miss Mo, looking good with the cat ears there, and of course, Miss Grace. Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good
Yes, yes. Good
morning.
morning, Jack. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning. Hi,
And I like
everyone.
what
So,
yeah, I like what Jack said, like the EAs are the ones carrying the bags. Jack, I think that's a personal assistant. It's I think it's a personal assistant and executive assistant. But whatever. Yeah. Hey, okay, are we still here? Okay, I do apologize. But anyways, guys, hello, hello. Good morning. Happy weekend, guys. So yes, for today's topic, we will be discussing executive assistants. I do know that there's a lot of questions, when people ask what's an executive assistant. Actually, I want to ask you guys too. Grace and Jack, what do you think is, what does virtual an executive assistant do? For me, when you say an
mhm.
executive assistant, they do everything. Would you agree, Grace? Grace, you're an executive assistant right now. It's not like, okay, executive assistant, it's just like admin task. Totally. For me, it's no. When you say executive assistant, your client might, you're an all around, right? Your client
Yeah.
might
Mm,
ask you,
yep.
hey, you send this email, you book this calendar, hey, find me flights, hey, can you call
hmm
this person, hey, can you check this CRM? It's like you're an all around person. You have to know. I mean, it doesn't, you do not need to know everything, but you have to be
hmm
willing to learn, and to
hmm
know almost everything that your client is doing currently. Am I right? I mean, would you agree with me, Grace?
Yeah, totally
It,
agree.
mm,
Actually, when you search for, just look for a job description like executive assistant, there will be and always be something that says ad hoc task, right?
I like that. It's like, hey, you're doing everything.
Yeah. You will really always see that it's not just calendar management or checking emails. There will always be this ad hoc task, which only means, yeah, it can be anything and everything under the sun, whatever the client requests. So yeah, just like Miss Monique's share, right? It can be from as simple as checking emails to as personal as maybe arranging a babysitter for your client,
Yeah.
something like that. Right?
or sending a
Have you?
coffee, calling their moms, hey,
Oh
tell my mom
yeah,
happy birthday, or telling, can you call my mom just to tell her to go here, stuff like that. I mean, simple things like that. If you're not willing to do them, please do not apply as an executive assistant, right? So,
totally agree.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes to the virtual world, it's gonna be pretty much that, right? It's definitely not limited to like, I'm gonna open a calendar and book some dates there or whatnot, or maybe I'm just gonna be typing an email, a letter for the client. Pretty much no. It's gonna be like all around is what they have mentioned, and it's like, yeah, with one of our viewers here mentioning an EA is an extension of the boss. You do what they need and want.
yes.
It's like, yeah, you're gonna be there, okay, it's like the working hours that you are in with them, and pretty much, something comes up, you gotta be able to do it. But going back to the question of Miss Mo earlier, like, what would be what do you call this, what would I think, when I hear the word executive assistant? If I were not familiar of the virtual world, I would literally think like what I mentioned earlier. Maybe somebody carrying the bag and all the stuff in the inside, doing all the stuff
Personal
that's
assistants.
needed. Yeah, something
Mhm.
like that. But in the virtual world, yes, as you guys know, it's kind of vast nowadays, right? It's really vast. Like there's AI, all these advanced, say, tools online, and
Mhm.
all of these, say, even just the what do you call this, like task management tools, right? Just that alone, there's a lot to do, and basically you need to get to know these things, because once again, yeah, you're like the extension of the boss. Boss ain't there, you're gonna be the one facing, per se, the clients of the boss. You're gonna be doing the replying, the emailing, contacting, booking, calling,
Mhm.
all these things, plus the babysitting if needed be, like what Miss Grace mentioned a while ago. So yeah, it's quite the extended role, per se. Maybe it's like an extended assistant. But yeah, being an executive assistant by no means is not like, how to put it, like something to snooze off. It's
Oh
something that
Yeah.
no,
you are
you
like,
will
you
not.
gotta be like very good, really very good at assisting your client in everything that they need to do. And yeah, you're not just like some assistant to the side. You are doing pretty much like high level stuff, because you're doing the stuff that the client does. Yeah. What do you guys
Mhm.
think?
Exactly. I don't know. I just totally agree on what you said. And no, it's not something where she's just an EA. Oh my gosh. And I think we would hear from our two guests today because we have two guests today, guys. It's a
Yes.
surprise. They're just hiding in the background for now. But we're gonna show you guys we're gonna show you guys our guests in a little bit. But I think we could ask them that question as well. Is it an easy job? I don't
Mhm.
think it is. I definitely do not think it is. And I think Grace can speak for herself. Like it Grace, I know you can learn everything. I think as an executive assistant you need to want to learn because if not, this is
Yes.
not for you. Apply as an admin assistant if that's what you're looking
Yes,
for.
that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. Like executive assistant, it's just like when you say executive assistant in the corporate world, is it just like making coffee for your boss? Before we got that, thinking, right? But no, it's just the tip of the iceberg. You're not now for as a virtual executive assistant. You're not just like making coffee for your boss, but now You're actually preparing Zoom for your boss, right? So that's one thing. So I guess our viewers are very excited, really very excited to meet our two guests for today, which will share their experiences as an executive assistant today, right?
Yes, I think Jack can introduce our um first guest.
Yep,
Jack, what do you think?
definitely,
I think, yeah, he's highly recommended by Jack. And by the way, he even sent me this person's information so we could, refer him to another client, which we're actually going to be doing interview. So Jack, would you like to introduce our first
all right.
guest?
There we go. So for our first guest today, basically, it's like, how to put it, like happenstance. We came across each other, and basically, got to converse about things, and ultimately getting to learn, how they are doing, or how he is doing, when it comes to his job post, right? And basically, he was pretty much assisting his client all around as well. He had to do some specific tasks, but ultimately getting to what you call this, be there, quote unquote, be there always for the client, no matter what it came to, like what task needed to be done, what moment, like came up, right? He had to be there, and he had to be able to be, say, flexible to attend to all these needs. And on top of that, to be a very good conversationalist as well at the same time. So without further ado, our first guest, may we please have Mr. Keith Adrian Dapa.
Yeah.
There we go. Good morning, Mr. Keith.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Hi, Monique. Hi, Grace. Hi, Jack. How are you guys
All right.
doing?
All good, all
Hi,
good.
Kit.
Hi. Yeah, it's great to be here. It's fun to be with you guys here right now. So we are going to be talking about EA stuff right now. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And sharing like some of your experiences as well. And, before we roll into that, actually, like, what would you say, how to put it? What would you say is like one fun fact about yourself, as to why you came to be like here in the virtual world, why you entered the community, right? And ultimately, why you are eyeing, for positions like this, wherein you are like, say, a very close assistant, to your client.
Right. Well, yeah. That's a very good question. Well, ironically, just wanted to share with you guys, I'm a massive, massive introvert. Basically being said, like these people around me, like the three of you is already too much for me. So my social energy will be going down to drain in a few minutes later. And I think I'm already feeling it. Well, anyway, ironically, yeah, that's it. Yeah, ironically, it's already an introvert trying to be on a virtual world and an executive assistant. So, backing up to what Monique and Grace mentioned earlier, it's actually a type of something that you gain not only a boss, because it's like an extension of your boss, is what everyone's mentioning, right? But what
Yeah.
I do see from an introvert's perspective is that I do found a virtual friend. You're not just doing it for work, but exactly trying to get to know this person, and that worked exactly for me because as an introvert, I'm just dealing with one person and I can be much
Mm.
talkative that I can be right now, and would not be draining my social, my social energy in minutes time. But eventually, we'll get to know my client as well, right? It's going to be fun and a crazy experience as well if ever that you try to be friends with your client. So that's basically the number one thing that I have in mind. Just trying to be friends with your client because they're humans as well. And keep in mind that they do breathe, they pump bloods too, they get tired, they get sick, and you're just being there for them, Not exactly like job things.
True. And sometimes just be a friend, right? And guys, don't you love this British accent? Guys, can you please hire me? Can you guys hire me an EA with the British accent, please? Boss wants me to
How
hire
did you
another
get
EA,
that?
so I think I want to hire someone with a British accent. That's my standard right now. I'm not gonna be hiring any if you don't if it's not like someone that sounds like Keith. No, please do not. Watery accent. Oh
Yeah,
my.
well, a few interesting things about me is that one thing is that most of the people and the friends that I know happens to actually tell me that I actually came across to this type of job just because I know how to talk like this. I didn't choose to talk like this for you guys to know. I was born in London, not really born. I was raised in London
Oh,
for at least 10 to 12 years. So that's where I'm from. And automatically, I can't actually change my accent. This has been my issue for years now, ever since that I started on a
oh,
BPO
don't
setup,
change.
a
We're not
BPO
Good
asking you
issue.
to
industry.
It's a good
change.
issue.
And just stay who you are.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
love your accent as it is, okay? So if some
You
people
want to
are
copy
telling
our
yeah,
you,
accent?
right, Kit, we don't like your accent. No,
yeah.
just be here with us. We love you as you are, okay? Do not change your accent. We love it as it is. But Kit, I have a question for you.
Thank you.
So what made you apply? I mean, why apply as an executive assistant when you can actually, I think, find better jobs like, I don't know, maybe in a call center. I think some of them would be looking for some for some of those accents? Why apply as an executive assistant?
That's a good point too. To be honest, it happened to be, let's say, around 7 or 8 years that I've been in that industry, and I've actually quite
Oh.
climbed up the ladder. Yeah, so I happened to be on the leadership post on that time. Remember, guys, how difficult times was when pandemic came in, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm.
we were trapped. Yeah, we were trapped. So exactly that's the only reason I ventured on the eventually I happened to stumble on a client for like 2 or 3 on that certain year, and happened to just be comfortable with it and try to know the
Mm.
basics, and exactly what Jack mentioned earlier. I thought being an EA just carrying bags all around, but no, it wasn't.
Oops, it's not.
Yeah, no,
Were you
no,
surprised?
it's a
Okay.
prank.
It's a prank. No bags. It's actually a lot of tasks.
Yeah, it is like 24/7 working.
Yeah.
Yes, and you even have to think, right? Even you already
Mhm.
log off. Okay, you will have to think. Okay, did my client do this? My client has to be on this, like let's say, has to attend this meeting, even though
Mhm.
you're not supposed to be on that meeting. You already scheduled the meeting. You have to think. Did my client attend the meeting? And afterwards, it's what did they talk about the meeting? What else do I need to do afterwards? It's actually a lot
Mhm.
of work, right? Okay, thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Kit. Actually, we have another guest. And of course, just to balance everything, the other guest that we have is a female. We're not sure. No, just kidding. Okay, Blessy, don't be mad, okay? Okay, let me show Blessy here. So with Blessy, it's a little bit interesting because upon checking, guys, I did my research, of course. So upon checking, Blessy was actually a technical analyst before. She is also an ESL teacher before. So now it's actually interesting for me to know, Blessy, what is the fun fact about you? No, just kidding. So why why did you apply as an executive assistant? And also, if you could introduce yourself and give us something like one fun fact about you.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody, wherever you are. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Hello,
Ay, very
guys. Hello, Miss
ano,
Monique. Hello, Miss
I'm
Grace.
used to
Hi, Sir
this.
Jack. Hi, Keith. I do not have the
Hello.
same accent as Sir Keith, but that's at my
Same,
first.
same. I would like to say the same. Sorry, Kate.
One fun fact about me, I love dancing under the rain. I know it does not connect me to being an EA, but I do. I don't know if it's fun for other people, but for me, it's fun. Yes, that's correct, Miss Mo. I was an ESL teacher before. I also worked as a circuit. I also worked as a BPO in a BPO company. But unfortunately, after pandemic, like Mr. Keith said, we were stuck.
Wow.
We cannot go
Mhm.
out. We were stranded in the house. We did not expect that it's gonna last for 2 years. I thought it was just gonna be 2 weeks. Scam! It's
Mhm.
2 years.
I
So
know.
It's a
I had to
prank
do
again.
something. I had to do something or I'll be hungry. So instead, I applied first. I never I don't have any idea about being a VA. I don't know that VA world exists, to be honest, at all. So I was an ESL teacher until the company shut down completely. I think it was because um, in China, because I was a teacher for Chinese students. So
Oh.
Mm.
yes, so they shut down the company. I think because they are limiting the private schools in China. They wanted them to focus on schools because the students there already have a lot of extracurricular activities like
Mhm.
piano lessons, dancing lessons, and all that lessons, and they wanted learning English to be mainly learned from their school. So I think that's the reason why they shut down the company, and I had no other choice. To be honest, it is funny. When I started looking for VA jobs, I typed in not VA, I typed in online jobs, and the first thing that VA,
Oh.
VA, 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 VA. So that's when I found out about the virtual world. So that's how I ended up. And ironically, I am an extrovert. opposite to Mr. Keith. So
We
at
love
first, I
Havana.
didn't like the idea. It's because, oh no, I don't have office mates. Oh no, I don't have new friends. Oh no, I'll just be talking to my boss the whole time. It's
Yeah.
so, so that's my whole thought the first time.
So why apply as an executive assistant then, Blessy? If you have, other experiences, I mean, as mentioned, you're a technical analyst before. You even have ESL experience. And I think a ESL teacher, there's a lot of companies out there as well, right? Like catering this
Mhm.
kinds of jobs. But why apply as an executive assistant this time?
I did not apply as an executive assistant. Beforehand, being an executive assistant, I applied as this is the position. I don't know what happened, but I become promoted unknowingly. I was promoted from being an administrative assistant. So basically, my work is to be just an administrative assistant on the back end. So I'll be like
Mhm.
doing the support things on
Mhm.
the back end.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, my clients started making me do these things that an administrative assistant doesn't do, like reserve a
Mhm.
dinner reservation, make a call to this person, pay this bill. It's like, oh no, I'm not an administrative assistant anymore. And then I should I be asking for a raise? What happened? It was unknowingly. We were not talking about this is your role. Uh, it just happened. Like it just happened. I'm an EA.
Mhm. Mhm.
But do you like it? Actually, that's my next question for you guys. Keith and Blessy, do you guys love being an EA? Or is it because, yeah, just like what Blessy mentioned, okay, someone just offered me this job, okay, just take it. Like, okay, it's a something that I can just do right now and, I can make money out of it. So do you love being an executive assistant?
Well, to answer the question, to be honest, at first it was just me and the money. I said, "Oh, this is paying good. That's it." But then, as time goes by, me as a person, I wanted to learn, grow as a person too, because I wanted to. My goal was only to learn from this field and then move forward to another field where I can use what I learned from this field. But I just realized that in this field, it's never ending learnings. It's never ending growth.
Mhm.
It's never ending realizations of things and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna stay here for so long. I never I'm already for almost 3 years.
Mhm.
3 years. I was like, oh, okay. This is surprisingly good actually. I know it sounds
What
like
is good? The money? You mentioned the money a while ago, the salary.
yes, yes. And that's the bonus of it. You like what you're doing and you're earning good money out of it. That's what I
I
like
do.
more about it.
How about you, Keith? Do you also like the money? No, just kidding.
Yeah, well, technically, I don't think no one hates money, is it?
Agree,
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
agree.
that's
sure.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
But she said a
Yeah,
lot of money. Okay, let me
yeah,
a lot of money. So
yeah. That's one bloody pack of monies. But yeah, well, supporting what Blessy mentioned, to be honest, being an EA for me is something like a blind move for me. At my first, I really don't know what's happening. I don't have any idea what's going on until such time that, yeah, I also happen to book dinners, book flights, even actually ask someone's mom if they're at home because when the client is
oh,
going,
see, I told you
yeah,
that's something an EA would do.
yeah. It's like my client was saying like, can you text my mom and see if she's home? I'm trying to visit her. And then I said, yeah, okay, I'll try. I don't know what to say. Am I going to be formal or just, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
mom?
what's up, man? Yeah, yeah, mom. You have rice and you have rice and food in there. Yeah, I don't know. You like milk?
Mom, are you home already? Like,
Yeah,
who's this?
yeah. Of course, just like doing a normal introduction, like, hey, my name is Keith. I'm your son's friend, like work
Mhm.
partner. I don't know what should I call myself, but yeah, he's asking if you're in there. So those type of instances is absolutely mind blowing because that's not the same as the corporate world that you imagined. You know,
Mhm.
That's
it's
so true.
dwelling to their personal life already. Like I'm also some kind of a psycho nerd. How should I say this? Uh, I forgot the term, but it's like I psychologize to see how people's actually feeling. You know, like I actually wanted to see
Yes.
um, people's hand gestures, like body languages, you know, something like that, to read what's on their mind. So I do love those kinds of things, and that's one thing that actually gained me a place in the EA world because you know
Mhm.
every kind of clients are different. You don't know if they're okay, if they're mad, if they think of you as a friend, or they think of you as someone who just needs help online. I mean, you guys are online, so we can't really touch together and meet each other. Like I was saying, Jack, the
I don't
entire
want to touch
interview to
together.
let's
That's
not go to the other part. Yeah, so, something at the yeah. Yeah, I mean it's virtually like you can't like do
Mhm.
fist bump with your boss and just say like, hey, tap at the back, just want a cup of
Mhm.
coffee with hard times. No? It doesn't work that way. So only your face, your voice is everything that you've got, and also your attitude. So what dwells inside you is also the things that you may actually wanted to present to your clients for them to to be comfortable with you as well.
So in short, guys, in short, he loves being an EA. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. You know what? You know
that was
what?
like the main thing.
I feel like instead of having, more applicants to apply as an executive assistant, I think with you guys being here, I think they will not apply anymore. It kind of looks like a hard job right now. It kind of looks like, okay, I want to apply as an executive assistant before. I feel like I don't want to apply anymore. Hearing Keith and with that accent, oh my goodness, no. And hearing how fun Blessy is, I'm not that much fun. Maybe I'll just apply another position. So how about you, Grace? Do you love being an EA, Grace?
Of course, just like Blessy mentioned, right? Or yeah, Keith mentioned about like applying like blind, not knowing what's your next step on this kind of role as an executive assistant, right? And then Blessy sharing other tasks that you wouldn't know, like connecting personally. I think uh the usual daily task just for the viewers as well, right? For executive assistant, not to bombard you with a lot of you do not know what your task will be. It's like, of course, the usual for EAs. We got calendar management, like arranging the schedule for your client, for your boss. You also do some setting of travels if they like to travel, so you're the one who's gonna do that. Attending to their meetings, so that's also one of your tasks. Making sure that you also do like note taking and those kind of thing. So basically, you will always be with your client. And depending on what type of business your client is, the only thing that you have to remember, wherever your client is, you should be there too. You should be ready to support them, the things that they need. You should be able to like think forward, or be like in advance, think in advance what are the things that they need before that actually happen. Like for example, in a meeting, right? If your boss will be having a meeting, you have to make sure that you fully set up your Zoom, you fully set up the music. Just an example, guys, right? So when you attend to a meeting with your client, you have to make sure that you have enabled the waiting list. So that's one of the tasks of the executive assistant that you guys may want to learn for our viewers and aspiring VAs, right? You have to make sure that you have the view of your client. She's looking good, and then the music, you have to be ready for it, so that when people will be coming in, you have to know how to also set up breakout room. So those are the things an executive assistant is also doing that I could share to you guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Grace. Oh my goodness. Guys, Grace added something on the EA pass. You feel like I apply as an executive assistant. Oh, maybe I'm scared right now. I don't know how to do those.
What's gonna be the next thing that they're gonna say? You know?
Okay, so guys, let's stop there. Okay, let's stop on what are the tasks. Okay, on what are they doing. Okay, so okay now, Jack, would you like to ask the next question?
Yeah, yeah, so guys, we have a lot of interesting questions that is gonna follow. And if you guys have questions as well, you might have inquiries, or you have just thoughts like, do you guys make pizza as well or something like that? Just throw them in the chat box, ask Blessy and ask Keith, ask Grace as well. Throw in your questions there. And if ever some of your friends or your family members are thinking if they can be an EA, tell them watch. They're talking about a lot of great stuff there, including calling somebody else's mother or something like that. Come on, be sure to tune in until the end. But yes, I love like all the things that I have heard so far, and like what Blessy mentioned a while ago, like at first she thought it's going to be like something very simple, maybe just for the money kind of thing, but ultimately it became like something that is really rewarding. And on top of that, like what Keith mentioned a while ago as well, that you get to learn a lot of stuff, even say what do you call this things in the field of psychology, just to be able, say, to assess, to learn, to be able to what do you call this, blend in. One of the past days in daily training is like I got to mention as well, like if you are somebody who is able to like really blend in, like in whatever situation it might be, whatever room it might be, right? You can jive with the energy of everybody there. That's an awesome skill. That alone is an awesome skill to have. And being an EA, you will have to practice that, like it or not, because you're going to be calling somebody else's mom, okay? Something like that. And, contacting, booking, different kinds of people you're going to get to talk to. And most probably, it's going to be of a different culture as well. So much learning just on that field alone, my golly, it's so rewarding. It's so amazing. But yes, and nevertheless, we still have a lot of other interesting and juicy things to learn today. Some facts to hear from all of us here, from our guests as well. And the next set of question would be, what could be the most challenging and rewarding experiences as as an EA? What do you guys think could be, say, the challenging and rewarding experiences as an EA? Like, with with you guys, with your clients, right? From the start, like with Blessy, right? Started out as an admin assistant, then evolved into, no, pardon me, not evolved. I was thinking of Pokemon. What, what do you call this? Became a executive assistant. And for Mr. Keith, right, like all the experiences as well, with your journey so far, what could be for you guys, say, the challenging and rewarding experiences that you have? Okay, let's go first with Miss Blessy. Yeah, what would you say are your experiences, rewarding and challenging ones?
Well, thank you, Jack, for that question. I would say that Miss Universe, Miss Universe. I think the most challenging for me by far that I can remember is that when a client asks you to do something that you do not know. Like for example, I remember this one time. My client is on a tour. This is his vacation, and he asked me to last minute before his flight. He asked me to make an itinerary, and I was like, he was going to I think I remember the place was Greece or somewhere in Europe, and I've never been in that place. That's one. Two, I've never rode an airplane for my life, and three, I'm blank. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know if he loves bungee jumping, or is there even a bungee jumping in where he is going. So there are times that your client will ask you to do something that you're so unaware of, you don't know what to do. So what I did was, you have, being an EA, you also have to be very resourceful. That's one of your job, is you always have to you don't ask for, excuse me, help from your client to resolve a problem that they gave you. The reason why they gave it to you is because you need to solve it. They cannot solve it on their own, so they have to give it to you. So that's your role. So what I did back then was, I had to, one, research about the place he's going to, the hotel, the places around the hotel. Two, I need to research about the flight because he was riding, I think, if I'm not mistaken, business class. Is there a difference between business class, economy, and all that?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I also had to research the topmost tourist spot on that place. So I had to do a lot of research, and that's not the worst part of it. The organizing part, the time, and I don't even know what time my client sleeps. So what I did was based on our previous communications, previous emails, calls that was transferred back and forth. I had to based it on that. Oh, my client usually don't respond to me at this time of the day, so I think he's resting by this time of the day. So it's like you have to, like Mr. Keith said, you have to be learning psychology at the same time. You have to learn how to read people at the same time because you have to resolve this problem on your own. So that's one of the most challenging for me when your client asks you to do something that you don't know how to do and you have to figure it out by yourself. But the rewarding part of it is that you're learning. It's like, oh my gosh, in Greece, there's this very long bridge I didn't know about. This is so amazing. Oh, really? This good? That's why it's more expensive than the economy class. Oh, right, more leg room. So it's like, it's so it's amazing that you have to learn. You have this learning that it's
Mm-hmm.
all uh, it's free. You're learning it for free, and you're getting paid to learn. So it's like
Yes.
it's the most rewarding part of it for me. I think the most rewarding part of being an EA. That's it for me.
All right, there we go. Amazing, amazing. Like that reminded me of what Grace mentioned earlier as well, right? You have to be able to forecast, right? Forecasting. Because, yeah, sometimes it might be like impromptu flight. I need to go to another country, and now you're going to be thinking, like, what flight to book? What time should I message? Who should I call? Where should I reserve? All these things. And what if, like, client is not communicating with me currently, right? What would I do? Freeze in my boots, But yeah, a lot of things really, when it comes to the EA world is so fun. If you want to do stuff like that, basically, like how to put it, like flexing your mind, right, your brain for growth and getting to experience a lot of stuff per se. It's like reading a book in a way, right? Except now you're hands on. It's all visuals, and basically you're
Mm-hmm.
getting to explore a lot of things, right? While getting paid at that, right? A very, very rewarding position, and then nonetheless, like really, really amazing to hear. I was almost about to say, like, all right, one, two, three, and definitely you rock, Miss
You
Blessing.
rock.
Thank you very much for sharing, Miss Blessy. All right, how about for Mr. Keith? Same thing, right? What could be, say the most challenging experience for
Try
you?
calling the
Yeah.
mom of your client, you know. That's your
All
whole.
right, and the most
Well,
rewarding at
that's
the
one of the
same time.
unexpected ones. Absolutely. Yeah, well, I agree. I agree with Blessy regarding with the rewards and the challenges. But for me, here's for the people who's introvert. So if any one of you are introvert, if anyone's watching is an introvert, the most challenge that I really have, if ever I'm going to be meeting a new client, will be the beginning, because I don't even know what the
Getting to
person is. I don't
know,
know how.
like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm an introvert. Most of the time, people walk towards me, but it's not me who walks towards them, right?
Yeah,
It's really for me to do.
agree,
I'm
agree.
just waiting for them to ask me questions in order for me to be, talkative like this. But, the other way around, I'm simply saying, how's your day going? Okay, fine. That's it. Social energy at 10%. That's already 10%. But yeah, that's the most very, very challenging that I have experienced with new clients. Once I get to know them, that's the most rewarding thing. Besides, I'm trying really to walk away from the money thing. But yeah, besides the rewarding part, saying that I'm being paid and also to learn at the same time, it's absolutely rewarding. But for me, as someone who takes deep connection to your clients, rewarding for me is something that you did something good that makes them happy. And that's it. For
The
example, you just
fulfillment.
help them with little things. Exactly right. For little things, you just wanted to give them like full assistance, a few supports that makes them happy and makes them like smile, let them know that uh, telling you, "Hey Keith, you've done a wonderful job. Thank you so much." I don't prefer telling me. I'm also telling this to my client. You're not. I don't prefer you telling me I did a wonderful job, because you know what? We're friends. I mean, yes, you're paying me, but I think we're much more friends than that. So I'm not being hired. I just get to know you, and I know that you need to, need help. So that's how I look at it. And the most rewarding thing is that is if ever that they said that I did something that they really appreciate, and that's all good for me. Besides being paid. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and
All
also
right.
sometimes, guys, right? Sometimes as an executive assistant, I used to be an executive assistant myself, before I become a virtual partner. But actually, I am still an executive assistant, for Boss Phyllis. But sometimes you're just doing your best, Sometimes you're just doing like admin tasks, but they greatly appreciate it, right? Like they're very happy you did it for them. I think those small things like that, they matter as well, right? Especially if you're
Of course.
if you're directly working with the client. How about you, Grace? What do you think? What are the most challenging and rewarding experiences that you have?
I'm I'm actually smiling because I like what Keith said, right? He's sharing about getting those appreciation, and maybe for me that is really rewarding for me. So maybe I'm the type of person that if I hear that from my client or from someone that I'm doing a good job, it just makes my heart so full, so happy, because because maybe just like the relationship that you guys are talking about, as an executive assistant, you're the person that you're the direct person that your client always goes to, like talk to you directly, give you instructions. So there is like a relationship that is being developed right there. So the rewarding part of it is that you're doing your best, and sometimes you're doing beyond what you're capable of, because you just have that relationship with your client and you just want to really like give them the satisfaction, like more than what you can give. And when you hear those words of appreciation, as for me, that's really rewarding, right? So I'm grateful whenever I hear those kind of words. It seldom happen, but when it happens, right, you really know that it is something that is true. So yeah, that's rewarding for me. And for challenging, there's actually a lot of challenges as an executive assistant that I could share. Maybe this the time won't be enough for me to share it.
We only have 15 minutes left.
And but it's true that you will always have challenges, not just as an executive assistant but also in some other kind of job, right? But as long as you love what you're doing and you put your mind on it and you really work hard to really go past that challenge, then everything will goes well and it will be rewarding at the end. But just to share, right, as simple as taking notes, making sure that you won't miss a thing that they have discussed during the meeting.
The
So as
pressure.
simple as that is challenging, because I never worked as a executive assistant before or a personal assistant. I work in customer service, maybe like you guys as well in BPOs, and we never really the most that we can take note is spoke to this client and or spoke to this customer and resolved their issue, right? And sometimes there's
Or,
not
or
even a
call back.
note.
Call back
Call
tomorrow.
back,
Client is
call
not
back
available.
requested. It's as simple as that, right? We didn't know that there is like some kind of a format of a meeting notes. And how did I pass through that? I use AI. So this
Of
is the
course, the power of AI.
leverage your tools, right? You use tools to really empower you. So right now I'm using like Fathom Note Taker, because and it always, it's always with me during the meeting. Of course, I cannot bring him here.
I'm
Him?
actually surprised, Grace, Fatom is not here because
Yeah.
Fatom is just following her around, guys. Oh, Fatom is not here,
Yeah.
huh? Maybe maybe Fatom doesn't take notes of the
He's
podcast.
actually shy, so he doesn't want to show us live here. He doesn't want to join.
He's
But
on
yeah, he's
days off.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
could be. It
weekends,
could
yeah.
be. But it is really very helpful, and it is free. So for all executive assistant out there, if you want to use like an AI to like really help you in terms of just having notes or recording, then try to look out for this Fathom that AI. It's a note taker, and again, it's for free.
Grace, you're not being paid to promote,
By
right?
the way,
Disclaimer,
Okay, I,
disclaimer.
I
I'm
just want to
not
make
getting
sure because you
sponsored for
cannot do that.
this.
You cannot sell something here, Grace. Okay.
10-second ads.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny.
But
It's
yeah,
funny.
totally agree with Grace, guys. So yeah, she already mentioned it to you guys. So if you need a help when it comes to notes, meeting notes or whatnot, or maybe someone, not someone, something accompanying you guys during the meeting. Yes, AI is the key to success. Okay, so make sure make sure you make sure you guys check that. Actually, I've been noticing there's a lot of people saying hi to Blessy. Blessy, you want to say hi to them too?
Hello, Ida.
Got a lot
Okay.
of fans.
Yes, I know. And I want to have fun on the next question because Keith already mentioned a while ago, like the calling the mom. That's an unexpected task, right? So, Keith, do you still have other unexpected tasks? Again, being an executive assistant, it's like, it's all around task, right? Like client would just give it to you. It's like you would be an executive assistant, you would be a technical support, you would be an admin assistant. You are everything when you are an executive assistant. But what are the funny, the weird, funny, fun, or the weird, the weirdest unexpected task that the client gave you before?
Um, well, there is one unexpected task. It's much more worse than calling the mom.
Oh,
Uh,
we're
yeah.
listening.
Well, yeah.
We're ready. We're
This
ready.
just happened. Yeah, this just happened last year. So it was the end of the contract, but not really the end of the contract. The client that I had was old and it was sick, or he was sick, and by the days coming to an end, he mentioned that he may not be living that long and he doesn't know what to do. That's really unexpected. I mean, for me as an introvert and a deep connection person or connecting person to the other person, I just don't have the words to say, Like, I don't know. I don't want you to die because how will I get paid? So, like practically, that's how you think, But no, what I did is that I, I I actually told him to, can you just please stop saying those kinds of words? I mean, it's saying that you're already giving up whenever you have time. You're still breathing. Every second counts. Just simply by saying that, I mean, I told him that, let's do this. Let's do the next step. Instead of you letting me know your last words, how about you spending your time to your family and leave this business to me? What do you think that I can do in order for me to help you? Then he just mentioned, no, no, I don't think that you can handle this. And I said, no, I want you to dare me. Give me this business for like 2 weeks. I'll make sure it's not burning when you come back. Yeah, so that's it. He came back. It's not on fire, and it's absolutely fine. And he really did appreciate that. On that same spot, I just wanted not to cry with him. I mean, I said, I don't know. It just felt like connecting, and I said, I know you're sick and you have cancer, and I wish that it didn't happen to me. But yeah, it's very saddening on that part, and I just want you to be with your family. And after that, that's where I actually focused on what I can do for me to help him. Just like being a friend that he can call with. Like he doesn't have to check on time to time if the business is doing fine, it's not on fire. And yeah, I just wanted to send him reports. Instead of sending him reports, I actually collated, and he just wanted some other time. Like after the first week, he mentioned that, is everything doing okay? I'm not hearing from you, and I tell him that, yeah, why are you contacting me? I told you to focus on your job. I also asked him my favorite line. Now, I also told him my favorite line that Jack multiple times heard from me, and I said that if ever that you're free, let's grab a glass of beer. We can talk things out. Doing those kinds of things with your client. I mean, again, it's not only your boss; he's your friend. So that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the
True.
rewarding things that I mentioned. Those
Mm-hmm.
emotions that I felt when he was really thankful that I did that. Well, eventually he did close his business. Well, I think it's for the best because he's spending
Mhm.
time too much on his family already, which is fine with me. I mean, it's a win-win situation. I got paid those times, and he got with his family and just spending his time with his
Mhm.
family. That's fine.
Mhm.
We also sometimes, kept in touch like personally on social
Mhm.
media. So sometimes we do that. I mean, that's like the connection that I made during the entire EA time that I have with him, and that's already unexpected for me. Like having your boss into your personal life is
Mhm.
absolutely unexpected.
It's a blessing, right? It's definitely a blessing.
Yep,
I was
totally
about to
agree.
Absolutely,
cry
a
One,
hundred
already,
percent.
guys. Like, I was expecting the fun, the weird, that's not what I'm expecting. Okay, because the question is unexpected, and that's why
yes.
we're given unexpected.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, kid. But okay, someone would like to say a shout out, shout out. Shout out. Ayan, someone
Shout
saying
out to
hi to
Van.
you, Blessy. Shout out. Yan, kay Van. Would you like to say hi to our dear Van? Mau.
Shout
Mau.
out, Van. Thank you for watching, and to all the friends. I invited them to watch. I didn't really expect for them to appear. Thank you
Very
so much,
artista,
guys,
this
for
girl. I cannot.
Yes,
Diba?
Beanie.
Okay, let's see. One of our listeners, Kristen. So I was once in contact with my boss, divorce attorney, because he was busy. Oh my goodness. Definitely not. Okay, that would be awkward. Right? That would be, what would I say with the divorce attorney of your client? I don't know.
Yeah.
But would like to hear from you, Blessy. Do you have any stories as well that you could share?
Yes, actually, when you asked the question to Keith, already one thing popped up in mind, and that was when my one client before asked me to buy a gift for his wife. Now you would say, isn't it's not
Oh.
unexpected? Well, for me it is
That's a
because I
sexy
never,
lingerie. No?
I never expected it that our trust
A
level.
dildo? Sorry, guys, for life. I forgot.
Lingerie. Well, I never, I didn't thought of that back then. I hope I did. Too bad. But yes, it was for me. I think for other people, they would think, oh, it's not really unexpected. It's a really simple thing. You're just gonna buy a gift. But actually, it's not. For me, it's unexpected. The reason behind it is because I never thought that I'm on that level of trust already with my client that he would let me choose a gift for his wife. It's
So
not.
what's the
It's not
gift?
just
Come on.
nobody.
Spill it already. Like,
Well, that's the thing, and that's one also of the challenges that I encountered during the task is because I was not given a budget. So, should I
oh
spend
my gosh.
$100 for this? Should I spend
Okay.
this much? So I didn't know. So back then I had to, because I didn't know his wife. He only mentioned her to me like couple of times when we were having like a personal chat. Oh, I was with my wife the other day. That's it. That's the only time I heard about his wife. I didn't hear about
Mhm.
anything
Oh, you
else. So
have a wife?
yes, you had a wife. Yes, I was surprised. So I was um blank. I didn't know what to purchase because I don't have any idea how she's like, what she like, her favorite color, does she like
Mm, it's too
diamonds, does she
personal.
like
Yeah.
jewelry or not? It's too personal. And my boss was like, I'm on a meeting. I need this ordered by this kind of time, by this day, and all that. And I had to do research about his wife because I didn't know her completely. I know about about my client, the whole personality of my client. I do know him, but I don't know his wife. So I just based the gift that I purchased on the research I made. I saw that on their Facebook page.
What is it? What is it? Come on, come on.
The intensity. It's surprise. No, I purchased a purse for her.
A purse? Okay, not a
Yes, I
lingerie.
purchased a
Okay.
purse. Not a lingerie. I hope I did. Too bad. Now I thought about it. Oh man. I was actually thinking about because she's a mother. Most of her posts on Facebook are about her kids. Now I thought about
Mm.
buying something for her kids instead. I think she would love it more. But my boss specifically told me buy a gift for my wife. So he didn't say buy something for
For the
his
kids,
kid.
right? Mm.
So,
Following
but
instructions, guys. You have to follow instructions, okay?
follow instructions. Yes, that's number one rule. Follow instructions or you'll get scolded. So
So
yes,
why bags? I mean, you mentioned she's always with the kids. How did you connect the kids to the bags? I'm just curious.
yes, actually, that's my first thought was to buy something for her kids because her posts was all about kids. Oh, my kids graduated. Oh, my kid, I took my kids to this. I took my kids out, something
Maybe
like
just
that.
buy another kid. No, just kidding.
I hope I can.
The kids for the bags.
Yeah.
Extra
And then,
baggage. Just kidding.
yes. But yes, but to answer the question, Miss Mo, how did I connect? Well, most of her posts, I saw that she has a purse with her the whole time.
Oh,
There was no specific branding, because all her bags were different. And then it come to my thought also that time that, oh, she already has lots of purses, different purses already. I don't think that she will like another purse. But
mm-hmm.
then
Mhm.
I tried to get her something else, like for example, pair of shoes or something like that. I don't know her size. That's number one. I don't want to ask my boss. He's on a meeting. I don't know her size. I have to do this right now. I don't have time to wait for his reply. What's the size of her foot or something
Mhm.
like that. And I said,
That's true.
I
That's
think
super
she
hard.
likes her purses, so I'll just get her a purse, buy it on Amazon, and that's it. And then it ended up really great. I mean, my boss said like, "How did you know that my wife likes purses?" I said, "I stalked your wife on Facebook. I'm sorry. I'm not a
And
creep.
then
I
the
just
next
needed to."
message, the
A
next
skill that
message
can be
would be,
developed, yeah, while being
yeah,
an EA, being a
client.
spy.
Yeah, I'm a spy client. I'm so good at spying. I got her a purse. She loves it. Please do check your bank account. I bought an LV because she
I'm
didn't give
not
me
a
a
creep,
budget,
boss.
client. So
I promise you.
was done. The task was done. But the price, please do check your bank account. Love it. Okay, thank you so much, Blessy. Now for our closing.
Yep,
Yep.
actually, guys, we there's a lot of things that we still want to
Let's
share,
so
but
much have fun, guys. So much
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a lot.
and what they call this at the same time, we kind of hate to cut this, but as you know, guys, we're targeting only like an hour actually for our
Mhm.
lives, and probably the next ones is gonna be on the next episodes for from our channel, right? Go Super VA. If you haven't seen it yet, please visit there and go like and subscribe and share the good stuff around as always. And yeah, before we say conclude our awesome session today, our awesome meeting with our lovely guests, is I think one final thing that we would like to ask, if for you, Blessy, and for Keith, right? If somebody out there right now, or maybe the next couple of days, the next week, right, they come across this video and they're like, I want to be an EA, like what would you say, personally for you, like would be the best say advice, for success? You want to be an EA, this would be my advice, for you. What would you guys say? Yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, I guess I should start. To make things short, being an EA is actually is every blind moves that you're going to make, like maximum blindness that you have. You don't know who your clients are, but one tip that I can provide to everyone who wants to be an EA is just be that kind of friend that you are actually going to be like a versatile friend to your client. Be there who's going to listen and who's going to do things for them. It's not all about the job. It's not always about the job. The job is absolutely easy. Being in this kind of culture that we are, I mean, given a few tasks, you can just easily study it on your own. Just take time and take everything that you have, study it on your own, but your attitude is the thing that is going to be more focused on. So make sure that you're going to be that friend that your client needs.
All right, there we go. Be the best relationship builder that you can be. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And don't be like a robot or anything like that. The rewarding
Yeah,
part there is like, personally for me, same thing. The rewarding part there would be like the connection that you have. Okay, comes with the pay and comes with other things, but having that connection, like I have a buddy over there across the world, something like that. All right, there we go. Thank you very
absolutely.
much, Mr. Keith. And up next for Miss Blessy.
Well, for me, I would second the motion to what Keith mentioned. Yes. Also, I'll just add to that. You have to go and beyond. I know that on your job description it says executive assistant, but you will also be a friend. You'll also be a mom. You'll also be a sister, a brother, every kind of relationship. If what your client needs you to be, you have to be it, because you never know. It's very rewarding. Well, except for being, getting bonuses because your client is they're very generous. Trust me, they are. Yes, they are generous in bonuses, especially when you did something that really amazes them based on my experience. Okay, $200 bonus. Put it on her account. Like that. Just one snap. When they're happy with what you did, trust
Yummy.
me, you have to check your bank account right away. And not just that, you'll get lots of other things as bonuses. Like, you have additional friend, a client that is your friend. It's so amazing. So one tip is that you don't be afraid that you what you hear from here. Oh, there's so many tasks. Oh no, there's so many unexpected tasks. No, don't be afraid. Be challenged. Be challenged and be inspired to try. You'll never regret it. I know you will, because I know you will not, because I at first I thought I will when I first started doing this, and I said I'll just do this as an experience, but here I am, 3 years in the field. So trust me, guys, try it, learn from it, be challenged, be inspired from this.
It's a countdown, Jack. Why are you doing that?
I don't know where it came from.
It was might be
It's like
reciprocation.
time's up.
Nevertheless,
Actually,
guys, my goodness, like, thank you very much for sharing once again. An amazing, amazing episode that we have had. And for final,
I wish I was.
final words, Grace, Miss Monique, anything else that you want to share before we wrap up everything for our episode today?
Well, I think for me, I hope for those who are applying as an executive assistant, yes, you can see, guys, it might be challenging, but actually, there's always a rewarding part of it. And again, that would be learning, because again, as
Yes.
we as we as we said a lot of times, being an EA is not definitely easy, but I think being an EA is very rewarding for sure. That would be
Mhm.
that, because you will be working closely with directly with the client themselves, so that's fun for sure, right? So, and also, please do not be scared to try it. If
Yes.
it's not for you, then try another one, right? But
Yes.
again, EA also, it's not for everyone. So with the story that
Hmm.
you guys heard today, if you feel like, okay, I cannot go above and beyond for my client, if you cannot call your client's mom, then do not apply in this position. Okay, so that's that for me.
So
All
yeah, I
right.
want to add up to that. So just like what Miss Monique and the others EA here shared, right? Build the relationship so that it won't be hard for you. If you love your job and if you love your client, then everything will just set it in place, right? It will not be hard for you. And every challenge is an opportunity, guys, for you to grow. So those aspiring executive assistant, if you feel that you can do this, just challenge yourself. Show up, get that interview, and then yeah, give your best, right? So good luck in your journey, guys.
Yay.
Alrighty. So, guys, that's it for our weekend. And once again, thank you for tuning in here, friends, family, and peers in the VA world. Have an amazing, lovely weekend. Always keep safe, and keep healthy as well. And yes, today was a wrap. Thank you very much once again, everybody. See
Thank
you
you,
guys
Thank you,
when we
guys.
see
Blessy, and
you.
thanks for joining
Thank
us and making
you.
this a
Thank
wonderful
you.
podcast. Thank you. Next time, we'll see you.